What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Lunchtime Sports with your guy Shop, sponsored by my good friends over at Underdog Fantasy. What is going on, yo? Shout out to just had a new follower. Shout out Dylan Atterbury 816. Appreciate the follow. Make sure anyone who is not following the channel, make sure you stick that follow button. What's going on to everybody in the chat? Just want to give a couple of shout out for those who are seeing this during the day on my Twitch channel, twitch.com/shopman. What's going on, B Parks? Great one in the house. DM James 32. What is going on? Hot Stick. Yeah, I'm liking it as well. Hot. Mr. Anton 717 up. What's up, Chris? How are you? But yeah, appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all go out, stick that like button on that YouTube channel as well. I just put out a video regarding Madden 23 MUT information that they covered yesterday. But today it is Lunchtime Sports, and we are going to talk some sports today. We're going to talk about the hottest topics today. This might not be a long stream just because right now it's a little slow. I know we had our first glimpse of football yesterday. Really good football on, but it wasn't really the action that I mean, we did see, the couple first round picks play well. But for me, it was just being able to seeing football. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I got as much as I was looking forward to it. I didn't watch thing. Let me know in the chat, watch the thing, or let me know in the comments, watch the whole. I mean, I thought it was good, but it is what it is. So let me go ahead. Gotta go. Nope, we're not gonna pull out the chocolate today. We're gonna pull out the brisk lemon brisk ice. That's. Do you read both chats or go? So I'm not streaming this on YouTube, but it will be uploaded later. So that's where I I don't mean to flex. I gotta get my drink. I don't mean to flex with the Xbox fridge, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. So the first little business I want to talk about today, and I really don't even want to stay on this long, but it looks like Roger Goodell, he had a chance to, as we know, the NFL appealed the sentence. They really didn't appeal the rule of Deshaun Watson by Judge Robin. They appealed the sentence. So what they're able to do is Roger Goodell had a choice. He could either preside over the sentence and make a sentence, or he can appoint somebody. And it looks like he appointed General Attorney Peter C. Harvey to overlook all the stuff better. I think we can all agree that 6 games for Watson is not enough. Things that has alleged. So I'm thinking there's definitely going to harsh. The NFL is pushing for a year plus monetary compensation. Well, so I don't know. I feel like this is cop out. I feel like Roger Goodell is just ducking the whole situation, right? He's like, I want to rule and get this point across, but I don't want to be the one that makes it's almost like you're a parent, right? And my daughter goes to my wife and says, "Can I use the car?" And my wife says, "Well, you can use the 12." And I say, "No, I don't want her." So I say, "Okay, tell her she can't use the car," instead of me just going on and saying, "Hey, I don't want you." Like, I feel like he is ducking his responsibility. He is ducking his response, and instead of just coming out and saying, "Hey, you know what, Deshaun Watson, you didn't live up to the standards that you should have, so we're giving." I think it does two things. Because he's ducking, he doesn't have to answer the consequences that he gave, right? So because he's not giving out the consequences for Watson, he doesn't have to answer why'd you give Watson this, but only gave the Dolphins. He's like exonerating himself from that. He doesn't have to answer that question because somebody else is going to sentence Watson to a year and a half. To me, I don't think it's fair. And to me, the process is just a failed process. It's just a failed process. Like, if you're just going to keep appealing until you get what you want, then why not just do what you want in the first? Like, we know what this is. You're not fooling the public. Like, you're only fooling yourselves, and you're trying to protect yourself from that. Again, that is what it is. Would love to hear what you guys think in the chat. Again, I didn't want to really spend that on that at all, because I think it's kind of beyond. Right. So he's doing it right. Great one. He's doing it because so it doesn't fall. I feel if you would have done what you have done, incarcerated, the laws change depending who you are. Keep it real. The laws are only meant who the person should. Now, yes, I agree. Here's the thing. Like, this went to a court. Like, Mr. Anton, this went to a court. It wasn't like the court found him guilty of all of this, or else he would have been sent, right? Settled, which again, he didn't want to settle at first. He wanted to prove that sent. But even the court system said that there wasn't enough evident. We are basically dealing with a said she said type. There's no evidence that he did any of these things. There's no proof. Like there's no video. You would think in the world that with video cameras all over that we would have seen some. We would have saw a woman run out, would run out crying. We would have saw some disgust on a woman's face when after Watson left, she left. But that's not the case. That's not the case. We have nothing. So to sit here and say that he did all this stuff is just you believing them instead of him. That's basically what it is. So if the regular human being would have been charged with this, where would we be? He would be set free. He would be set free, Mr. Anton. There was no proof. What did he get charged with? We also got to remember Robert Kraft was caught in the act and we don't have any punishment for him. I agree. We got multiple evidence of stuff going on with Daniel Snyder as well. So why is it so big in the media? Because like you said, it's big because he is an athlete. That's why it's big. If it was me, y'all wouldn't even hear about this. It's not 60 of them. We can't compare Kraft to Watch different process sexual. There's a huge difference. Yes, there's difference. But they're both in the NFL, and you would think that both of them would suffer at least some consequence. And I don't think Kraft suffered any consequence. It's the same thing with Daniel Snyder and all these allegations, emails and stuff. The counter argument to that is victims of this stuff are often ashamed and unsure of what to do next. For us to say that someone would have known that's the case, I agree. That's not all. And you're right. What does this say to the women get assaulted? I'm not saying that he didn't do this. I'm not saying that he didn't. He possibly and very well probably did. I'm just saying that there is no proof that he did it, except women saying that women that deal with professionals are looking for money. Some are looking for money. I wouldn't say all women that deal with professionals are looking for money. Obviously, that's not the case. There's a lot of women that work with professionals and are professional. You think Tom Brady should have been fined or suspended for what? Hold on. Maybe I missed it. What did Tom Brady do that he should have been fined? And I believe Tom Brady was suspended for like Deflategate. I don't know. No one's saying he didn't do it. Yeah, I'm not saying he didn't do it. Can't suspend Tom. No, you can't suspend. Like if the owner of the Miami Dolphins called and you take the phone, that's not on you. That's on the owner for call. He's not supposed to call you unless he gets permission from the team that plays on. Again, where we are now is that the NFL has hired yet another percent watch when they should just do it. What would be amazing is if this next person says, okay, I'm going to give Watson 8 games and 1 point. I still don't think the NFL like that. Victims definitely not like. Yeah, I don't know where they go from there. That happened, but I don't think that's going to happen. All right. Moving on. Justin Jefferson made a quote, or maybe it was yesterday, I think, but he said that he's better than Cooper. He is better. Let me know in the chat if you believe that Justin Jefferson, right? Think Justin Jefferson is better. I don't know. For me, I think it's tough. Because, and here's why I say, I actually think that if you put Justin Jefferson on the Rams with Matthew Stafford, I think he might be better than Cooper Kupp. If Cooper Kupp played in Minnesota with Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson played in LA with Matthew Stafford, is it that hard to think that Justin Jefferson would be better than Cooper Kupp? Is Cooper Kupp balling out because of the position that he's in? Like, I feel like we don't. You think Kupp can play anywhere and shine? You think that if he went to the Detroit Lions that he would be able to shine? You think that he would be able to put up the same number that he's putting up right now? I don't think so. I think quarterbacks in system make wide receivers. I think quarterbacks in the system that they are in make wide receivers better. I just think that the team around you makes you better as a player. You can. There are some people who are you could put Tom Brady on any team and that team has a chance to do some great. I agree with that too. But I think it's more the quarterback than the wide. I think it's more the quarterback, the wide receiver. I think we'll see that this year with Devontae Adams. I don't think Devontae Adams puts up the same numbers or looks as great with Derek Carr as his quarterback when he just came from a Hall of Fame back-to-back MVP quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. I think Justin Jefferson is more talented than Cooper. That's just my opinion. I think Justin Jefferson is more talented than Cooper Kupp. And I think given the opportunity to play with a better quarterback would prove that. So I'm getting a consensus, I'm getting a sense in the chat that you guys think Cooper Kupp is a baller no matter where he is. Let me look up something. Okay, look. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all said Cooper Kupp was balling before Matthew Stafford, right? In 2020, he had 92 receptions for 974 yards and three touchdowns. Under 1,000 yards and under 100 receptions. He gets Matthew Stafford. He goes from 92 receptions to 145 receptions. He goes from 974 yards to 1,947 yards. Almost 1,000 yards different. He goes from 3 touchdowns to 16 touchdowns. Don't tell me that a better quarterback doesn't make the wide receiver better. Don't tell me the better quarterback doesn't make the wide receiver better. And that wide receiver can go anywhere with any quarterback and put up the same numbers. No, that's what they said. Great one. Read the chat. They said, great one. You said Kupp was balling out with Jared Goff. Really? He was balling out with Jared Goff? You said that, great one. You said he was balling out with Jared. Everybody said in the chat, nobody agreed that Justin Jefferson was better than Cooper Kupp. Yes, Stafford is better than Cousins. We talking about Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson. We not talking about anybody. We talking about Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson said that he's better than Cooper Kupp. And all of y'all turned y'all nose up at that. All of y'all was like, ugh. But I just gave you the number. Because I said it depends on the quarterback. If you let Matthew Stafford throw to Justin Jefferson and have Cousins throw to Cooper Kupp, I'm pretty sure at the end of the year we're gonna be saying Justin Jefferson is a better wide receiver. Nah, we not gonna find out, Mr. Anton, because they playing with 2 different quarterbacks. What wide receiver that has played with Goff put up the numbers Kupp even with Goff? I'm not saying his production didn't go up with Stafford, but we just saw Cooper Kupp ball out, and y'all said that he would ball out with anybody. I'm looking at the stats, great one. His 2020 season is not even close to his 2021. Not even close. So you gotta tell me what balling out means then. What does balling out mean? But that's what I'm saying, B-Part. Stafford has a bigger arm than Cousins. He's very inconsistent. I agree. One of the stats that I found out like just yesterday is that Trevor Lawrence had 17 interceptions last year. You know who else had 17 interceptions last year? Matthew freaking Stafford had 17 interceptions last year. So let's put Jefferson with your Washington team. How does he do? I don't know. I don't know how he does. I mean, that depends on Wentz. Again, and it also depends on the system. That if you're in a running system, then you're not going to get as many targets. You're not going to get as many catches. No, I didn't say anything. I didn't say Justin Jefferson was better. I didn't say that. Y'all said that he was smoking weed and stuff, that for him to say that. But what I was saying is, why is that so far-fetched? Why is that so far-fetched for him to believe? I mean, granted, if you're an athlete, you're gonna, oh, what do you mean? Hold on. Cooper Kupp played with Odell last year. He played with who's the receiver that got hurt at the end of the year? Like, Cooper Kupp played with some ballers too. But there we go. Homer and B part. The Homer. But seriously, I really think that it's not far-fetched to say that Justin Jefferson is just as good as Cooper. If everything was equal, they were in the same system, they had the same quarterback, I think whatchamacallit would be just as good. I think Jefferson just as good. Kupp played with Odell for like 2 games. Okay. What does that matter? That's even worse. That's even worse to the argument. Because now you're saying, well, Cooper Kupp didn't have nobody. They had to key on Cooper Kupp, and he still went off. So what that means to me is that he just had a better quarterback that can fit the ball into places that Kirk Cousins can't fit the ball with Justin Jefferson. Because I'm pretty sure they were double teaming Justin Jefferson as well. I think the other thing we need to also realize is that I don't think the Rams offense is is much more of a passing off than the Vikings, right? The Vikings have Dalvin Cook, who is definitely a top 10 running back, right? He's a top 10 running back. Who was the running back for the Rams? They didn't really have a running game. They had to pass. Cooper Kupp was their running back. Short ends, pivot route out. Like, he was their running back. They weren't double teaming Cooper Kupp all the time. They weren't double teaming Cooper Kupp the whole time. Definitely a good discussion. If you are watching this, put your comments down below. Let me know. Do you believe that Justin Jefferson could be just as good, if not better, than Cooper Kupp if he had a better quarterback? That's all I'm saying. Everybody's here to argue. And believe me, starting next, we will have the phone line. The phone lines want to jump in and say what you got to say. We can do that. We can make that happen. Starting next. This week is all about Kupp was not their only receiver. Stop saying that. Stop saying that Kupp was their only receiver. Now you're going to have to make me look up Rams wide. They had Van Jefferson. 2020. They had Van Jefferson, caught 6 touchdowns. They had Tyler Higbee. They had Odell. Didn't they have Deshaun Jackson at some point? Oh, yeah, they had Wood. That's right. They did have Wood. That's right. Woods got injured. D-Jax got injured. Van Jefferson got injured, I think, as well. Maybe Van Jefferson did not get. 22 hours ago, Los Angeles Rams receiver Kupp Justin Jefferson called himself. I am looking at their stat. I'm actually trying to find the Los Angeles Rams 2021 receiving stats. I see one, but I don't see one with Woods. Was Woods gone all year? Anyways, I just don't think that's a far-fetched question. Then you guys are making it out. Woods didn't play. Okay, Woods didn't play at all. That's all I know. You know how to serve who is better, Kupp or Jeff. Again, I think it's an unfair assessment because I think they're both very talented. I just think they're both in different systems. I think if you put Justin Jefferson on the Rams and put Cooper Kupp on the Vikings, I think they will look different. I think they'll look opposite. I'm just saying it's not out of the question that Jefferson can be just as good, if not better than Kupp, if he was in that same system with a Matthew Stafford throwing. That's all I'm. I agree. They are totally different wide receivers playing in 2 different systems, doing 2 different things. That's the only thing. But I think it's close. I don't think it's as outlandish as some of you guys think Justin Jefferson. That's the only thing. I don't think it's as absurd as some of you guys are saying it. Now, sticking with the Rams. Go to this. Sean McVay says that Matthew Stafford's elbow pain is abnormal for a quarterback. If you're a Los Angeles Rams fan, are you a little worried? I think if I'm a Rams fan, I'm a little worried because I don't like the thing that says abnormal for a quarter. Like if he would have just came out and said, yo, Matthew Stafford experienced some elbow pain, I'd be like, oh, okay. And they're going to sit him out for, the preseason game stuff. But the fact that he says his right elbow pain is a little abnormal for a quarterback, comparing it instead to what pitchers deal with, that is scary if you're a Ram. Says Stafford threw during individual and 7-on-7 drills Thursday, but did not take part in rep. McVay said earlier in the week that he doesn't expect Stafford to do so for the Rams for Irvine's 10th. McVay said the Rams athletic training staff and Stafford tried some things in the offseason with the goal of alleviating some of the pain he was feeling. McVay said going into the camp, Rams knew they wanted to have a modified approach and a progressive build. I don't know. Again, if you're a Rams fan, you got to be questioning whether this is serious. I think it could come to a point where maybe he's losing his velocity. I think he's getting old. He's getting older. He's on the downside of his. I don't know. I don't think there's anybody for them to pick up. Like if we take a look at what is the depth? Let's take a look at the Rams depth chart. Quarterback. They got John Wolford, Bryce Perkins, and Perez. That's not good. I can definitely see that. Garoppolo inbound. Here's the thing. San Francisco's not trading Garoppolo to the Rams. They're trading Garoppolo to the Rams. Are you kidding? So the Cardinals have some hope then? Can the NFC West be up for grabs? If there is not a healthy Matthew Stafford, that really shakes up the NFC West. But I really think still it's the 49ers to lose. I still think the NFC West is the 9. I think it is very interesting, but I don't know. I don't think that's good news. I don't think that's good. All right, let's go on to our last topic of the day for Lunchtime Sport, and we're going to be talking about mock drafts. So mock drafts are a big thing, especially if you're trying, gear up for fantasy football. And so I had Smooth, no, who was it? No, my brother called me because one of his friends had the first pick in their draft. He didn't know who to pick. And I'm just like, yo, the first pick this year is probably the easiest pick that it has been in years past. You know what I'm saying? Like this year, I feel like Jonathan Taylor, the guy you picked. I think he is the guy you picked first. He accounted for the most, percentage of his team yards. I think if I understand they got Matt Ryan, but I think you go with Jonathan Taylor. First. So if you pick Jonathan Taylor first, who is the second pick if you are a football fan? Who is your second? Here is my first through 12 picks. If you're in a 12-man fantasy draft, this is what I first pick. Jonathan. Again, we talked about the load that the second pick, Cooper Kupp. Now I see Hot Stick says Derrick Henry should be the second pick or the first pick, right? And that's what people forget. People do forget that B part, that Derrick Henry before he went down was like it took Jonathan Taylor like to catch up to Derrick Henry. You giving out too many secrets with your fantasy draft coming up? No. So I think Jonathan Taylor, Cooper Kupp, then Derrick Henry. I like Derrick Henry. My problem with Derrick Henry is that I don't know if he can stay. He take his running style. Hey, appreciate you coming out. I'll see you next. And right, Big Stupid. Like this all depends on how the scoring, right? It's not just this is what it depends on the scoring system. Some fantasy leagues have crazy scoring. I love PPR, but some of these. So after Jonathan Taylor, Cooper Kupp, Derrick Henry, I have Dalvin Cook. I love Dalvin Cook. I think because of their situation, like they pound Dalvin Cook for a lot of time, especially because I don't think the Kirk Cousins. So I think Dalvin Cook is going to get more. Number 5, the best running back on Twitch, Austin Eckler, comes in at number 5 for me. The fact that carry and he can catch out of the backfield. My only concern is that I think they're going to put more on Herbert this year. So I think Herbert's going to be throwing a lot. But I think Eckler great. You would put Eckler over Dalvin Cook? I don't know. I have to look at the stats, but I think I still would do. Shop is on that old school draft strategy, all the running backs. Yes, I am. I'm a firm believer in you got to get your running back. That's why I have Najee Harris at number 6. Najee Harris. Look, whoever they pick for their quarterback is going to have to turn and hand that ball in pitch. Whether it's Mitchell Trubisky or Mason Rudolph, I think they got to hand. Eckler had 20 at all running backs and catches last year. I like Eckler. Like I said, I do. I just think going ball more downfield. I think he's going to get less carry, but he might get more opportunity catch. Number 7. I think this is going tough, but Christian McCaffrey, number 7. Joe Mixon, number 8. Devontae Williams, number 9. James Conner, number 10. Justin Jefferson, number 11. And Nick Chubb, number 12. Those are my top 12 round 1 mock draft pick. Let me know what you think. Who would you pick? Who would you pick first? Horrendous. That's why it's my draft. I mean, it's Big Stupid. It's not like you and I ain't never been in a fantasy football league together. And who won that fantasy football? Who won that fantasy football league that we were in? Oh, now he doesn't want to answer that question. All right, well, again, we in a fantasy football league together. We'll see how your draft turns out, and we'll see how my draft turns. Okay, you see it, C Money, right? See it, right? Because you had 58 points from Dallas defense versus us. What are you talking? I won fantasy football. I love Jamar Chase. He's at the top of my list for round 2. I love Jamar. All right, guys, that's going to do it for Lunchtime Sports. Sponsored by my good friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you go over there, sign up, !Underdog in the chat, get the link, deposit your money, get an instant 100% match guarantee up to $100, and we'll be doing all kinds of football drafts here. So make sure you join. Also, I am going to be doing a Nexus. If you are a streamer or create YouTube videos, I am actually at 1:30 going to be doing a tutorial on how to create great thumbnails without doing a whole bunch of work. So make sure you join the Nexus Discord. Need that? Go follow me over on Twitter. I put a tweet that I tweeted out for the show. Go check that out. Show you how to create beautiful, maybe not, but efficient without spending a whole bunch of time. I got a question today from a streamer who hit me up in my DM. Hey Shop, I'm tired of paying somebody for thumbnails. Is there an easier way to do this? Show me how to use Photoshop. And I was like, yeah, I could, but I don't use Photoshop. I create thumbnails in less than 10 minutes. Like, what I do is not that hard, and I think it's just as good as if somebody had Photoshop and cost. So if you want to get that tutorial, make sure you hop the next board. I'll be there. But guys, I appreciate everybody coming out for Lunchtime Sports. It's been great. It's been a blast. I love talking sports, you guys, and it won't be on Saturday or Sunday for Lunchtime Sports, but we'll do Lunchtime Sports again on Monday. So it's a Monday through Friday thing. Sometime during lunch, sometimes it's going to be at 12, sometimes it's going to be at 12:30, just depending on meetings. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know. All right, this should do Shop. I appreciate you guys again. Be blessed. Stick that follow button. Follow me on YouTube and follow me on Twitter at ShopMaster. I am out. Peace.